It all started with a birthday cake. Not my birthday, mind you. My birthday had come and gone 4 months ago, with Amanda forgetting to even say happy birthday until lunchtime. But I wasn't bitter. Much. No, this was a cake for someone else. Someone important, apparently. Someone deserving of a double-layer chocolate ganache masterpiece with a personalized message piped in perfect cursive across the top. And Amanda, my loving, devoted wife of 8 years, was in our kitchen at midnight, humming to herself as she carefully smoothed out the frosting. That was the first sign. Now, you might be thinking, Kevin, it's just a cake. Maybe she's doing something nice for a friend. Maybe it's for a work event. Maybe you should stop being paranoid and let your wife have hobbies. Fair. But here's the thing, Amanda doesn't bake. Correction, Amanda hates baking. The last time she attempted to make cookies, our oven nearly caught fire, the smoke alarm screeched like a banshee, and she swore on her grandmother's grave that she would never set foot near a mixing bowl again. I believed her. Because Amanda is the kind of woman who sticks to her declarations. Yet here she was, at 12:07 a.m., dusting powdered sugar over the cake like some Pinterest mom who had just discovered the magic of homemade desserts. I stood there, watching from the doorway, arms crossed, waiting for some kind of explanation. Late-night cravings? I asked. She jumped, her frosting knife clattering against the counter. Kevin! You scared me. Yeah, you look terrified, I said, eyeing the meticulous way she was adjusting the edges. So, what's the occasion? And do I get a slice, or is this some exclusive cake club I wasn't invited to? She hesitated. And that hesitation? That was sign number 2. Amanda never hesitates. She's quick-witted, sharp, always ready with a response. When we first met, that was what drew me to her, the way she could match my sarcasm word for word without missing a beat. But tonight, she blinked at me like she had just been caught trying to smuggle gold bars across the border. It's for a coworker. His birthday's tomorrow. Office tradition. I nodded slowly. Ah, yes. The famous birthday cake tradition of Jensen and Company. Funny, because last year, your team just passed around a box of stale grocery store cupcakes and called it a day. Her fingers twitched. Well, this year's different. Clearly, I said, stepping closer. Who's the lucky coworker? Her shoulders stiffened just slightly. Nathan. Nathan. I let the name hang in the air between us, waiting to see if she'd squirm. Nathan was new. Some marketing guy she had mentioned once or twice in passing. I hadn't thought much of him at the time, mostly because Amanda had described him as too polished and corporate Ken doll. Not exactly a threat to my existence. But now, staring at the cake, a cake she had put actual effort into, I felt something shift. Wow, I said, giving a low whistle. Nathan must be one special guy. I don't even get homemade pancakes on my birthday, and this guy's getting a full bakery display? Amanda forced a laugh. Don't be ridiculous, Kevin. It's just a cake. That was sign number 3. Because people only say it's just a cake when it's not just a cake. But I didn't push. Not yet. I let her finish, watched as she carefully placed the cake inside a pristine white box and tied it with a red ribbon, an elegant touch for a coworker's birthday if you ask me. And the next morning, I played the role of the doting, clueless husband as she kissed me goodbye and left for work, cake in hand. That should have been the end of it. Just another weird moment in a marriage full of weird moments. But fate, in all its twisted humor, had other plans. Because later that afternoon, I got a call. Not from Amanda. Not from a friend. But from her office. Hi, Mr. Carter, a chirpy receptionist greeted me. This is Ellie from Jensen and Company. We're just calling to confirm Amanda's availability for next week's corporate retreat. I frowned, shifting my phone to the other ear. Corporate retreat? Yes. The team getaway. Amanda signed up to attend the full 3-day event. We just wanted to double-check in case there were any scheduling conflicts. I leaned against the kitchen counter, letting those words marinate. A 3-day retreat that I knew absolutely nothing about. I glanced at the fridge, where Amanda kept our shared calendar. Doctor appointments, dinner plans, upcoming events, all meticulously color-coded. There was nothing about a retreat. Nothing about being gone for 3 days. Right, I said, my tone even. And where is this retreat again? Oh. It's at the Starlight Resort. About 2 hours outside the city. Beautiful place, golf course, spa, private suites. The employees love it. I bet they do. Great, I said, my mind already working at a mile a minute. Thanks for the info, Ellie. I'll be sure to let Amanda know you called. I hung up, staring at the blank space on the calendar where her little work vacation should have been. 3 days. A resort. A cake for a special coworker. Now, I'm no detective, but I'm also not a fool. And the moment I put the phone down, I knew one thing for sure. Amanda had some explaining to do. Amanda came home that evening in an exceptionally good mood, which, given the circumstances, was downright insulting. She walked in like someone who had just won the lottery but was pretending to be humble about it. Smiling, humming to herself, tossing her bag on the couch with that lightness that people have when life is treating them very, very well. Hey, Kev, she chirped. How was your day? Well, it was enlightening, I said, watching her carefully. Yours? She stretched, rolling her shoulders like she had just spent the entire day not sitting at a desk. Busy, exhausting. Meetings, emails, you know the drill. Oh, and Nathan loved the cake. I bet he did. I bet Nathan in his corporate Ken doll face had a fantastic time blowing out his candles while my wife stood there beaming like she had just won Employee of the Year for Best Secret Affair cake. Yeah, I said, nodding. I actually got a call today. Amanda, who had just kicked off her shoes, froze for half a second before recovering with the speed of a professional liar. Oh? Yeah, from your office. Something about a corporate retreat. I have to give her credit. She didn't panic, didn't stutter, didn't break eye contact. But her reaction was too smooth, too calculated. Like she had been preparing for this moment just in case. Oh, yeah, she said, walking to the kitchen like we were talking about the weather. I was gonna tell you. It's this work thing, super boring, lots of networking and forced small talk. 3 days of ugh, basically. 3 days of ugh at a resort? She pulled a bottle of water from the fridge, taking her sweet time opening it. Yeah, it's at some place with golf and a spa, but I won't even get to enjoy any of that. It's just conferences and team-building exercises. Trust me, I'd rather be home. Now, I may not be a genius, but I do know my wife. And Amanda hates team-building exercises almost as much as she hates baking. The last time her office made her do one, she came home ranting about how she had been forced to hold hands with a man who used the phrase circle back unironically. And yet, here she was, choosing to go to one. That's weird, I said, crossing my arms. It wasn't on the calendar. She finally looked at me, her expression perfectly neutral. I forgot to add it. I just found out a few days ago. Lucky thing they called me, then. She took a sip of water, then smiled. Yeah, lucky. Now, this was the moment where a lesser man might have caved. Might have told himself that maybe, just maybe, he was overreacting. That his wife wasn't lying through her teeth, standing in their kitchen, acting like nothing was weird about a last-minute, never-before-mentioned, 3-day, resort getaway that she was too excited to pretend to be annoyed about. But I am not a lesser man. So I let it go. For now. Cool, I said, leaning against the counter. Have fun. Amanda studied me for a second, as if checking to see if I was actually buying her nonsense. When she didn't find any resistance, she relaxed. Thanks, babe, she said, giving me a quick kiss on the cheek before grabbing her bag and heading upstairs. I waited. Listened to her footsteps, the creak of the bedroom door, the soft click of the bathroom light switching on. And then, when I was sure she wasn't coming back down, I did what any self-respecting husband with a very bad feeling would do. I grabbed my laptop. Now, I'm not saying I'm the kind of guy who regularly stalks his own wife, but let's just say that when necessary, I believe in being thorough. And what I found? Well, let's just say Amanda was about to have a very interesting corporate retreat. First, her emails. Nothing suspicious. Work schedules, project updates, the usual. But then I got to her hotel reservation confirmation. Because here's the thing, Amanda had booked a room. Not her office. Not her company. Her. And not just any room, a deluxe suite. With a king-sized bed. 4-2. I stared at the screen, a slow, disbelieving smirk creeping onto my face. Wow. She really thought she had this all figured out, didn't she? Thought I'd just wave her off with a have fun while she waltzed off to a romantic resort vacation with Nathan, our new and exciting coworker. Unbelievable. Amanda, who couldn't remember to put the cap back on the toothpaste, had meticulously planned an entire weekend of cheating. The effort. The audacity. And that was the moment I knew I was going to let her think she got away with it. Because a good husband supports his wife's hobbies. And apparently, Amanda's new hobby was lying to my face. So I closed the laptop, stretched, and grabbed a beer from the fridge. Amanda was upstairs, humming in the shower, probably daydreaming about how smooth she was, how unsuspecting her poor, clueless husband was. And me? I was downstairs, smiling to myself, already thinking about how much fun this weekend was going to be. Because I wasn't mad. Oh no. I was interested. And when Amanda finally left for her very important corporate retreat, I was going to make sure she had the most unforgettable weekend of her life. She just didn't know it yet. Amanda packed like a woman going on a honeymoon. Now, I'm no packing expert. I once went on a 5-day trip with nothing but 2 t-shirts and a single pair of jeans, but even I know that 3 days at a corporate retreat shouldn't require an entire wardrobe rotation. Yet there she was, standing over our bed, carefully folding outfits into a suitcase that looked way too expensive for someone who supposedly hated business trips. I leaned against the doorframe, watching her. So, how many emergency evening gowns does one need for a super boring work retreat these days? She didn't even flinch. Impressive. It's just stuff for different occasions, she said, zipping up a side compartment with the kind of precision that suggested extensive pre-planning. Work dinners, meetings, casual wear. You never know what the dress code will be. Yeah, totally, I said. I heard those networking events can get pretty wild. Wouldn't want to be caught underdressed. She shot me a look but smiled like we were sharing some inside joke. Exactly. Oh, Amanda. The way she carried herself, calm, casual, completely convinced she was getting away with it, it was almost admirable. Almost. Hey, do me a favor, she said, snapping the suitcase shut. Can you water the plants while I'm gone? The one in the living room is looking a little sad. Ah, yes. The plants. Her biggest concern at this moment. Not her husband, not her home, just the plants. Sure, I said. And if they start wilting, I'll just remind them that you'll be home soon. I'm sure that'll perk them right up. She laughed, walking over to me with that easy confidence that had once made me fall for her. She placed a hand on my chest, looking up at me with what I assumed was meant to be affection. I'll miss you. I almost choked. Miss me? Oh, sweetheart. You are about to miss me so much more than you think. But I smiled, because that's what good husbands do. I'll miss you too. Have fun. And just like that, she was out the door, suitcase in hand, off to her very serious corporate responsibilities. The second she was gone, I grabbed my car keys. See, Amanda had no idea that I had taken Friday off work. She also had no idea that I wasn't staying home this weekend. Because as much as I enjoyed the idea of sitting back and waiting for her return, I had decided that watching this unfold in real time would be significantly more entertaining. And if Amanda wanted to put on a show, I was going to get front row seats. Now, let me clarify something, I wasn't going to confront her. Not yet. No, that would be too simple, too direct. And frankly, too easy for her to wriggle out of. Instead, I had one goal: gathering proof. Because when Amanda came back from her work retreat, all refreshed and glowing with whatever nonsense she had planned, I wanted to have receipts. And not just the "I have a suspicion" kind of proof. No. I wanted the "here's the documented evidence of your betrayal, timestamped and ready for review" kind of proof. So I drove. Not like some dramatic action movie spy, but efficiently. Smartly. Like a man who had done his research. And by research, I mean I had already looked up the hotel's guest policy. The Starlight Resort required a check-in ID that matched the reservation name, which meant Amanda couldn't book it under some fake name. She also couldn't lie about where she was staying, because guess what? Her confirmation email had the exact room number listed. And so, while she was busy arriving and settling into her romantic suite for two, I was in the hotel parking lot, sipping my coffee, waiting. Now, some might say this was petty. To those people, I say, correct. But if your wife is going to put in the effort to betray you, the least you can do is match that effort. It didn't take long. About an hour after check-in, I spotted her. Amanda, walking across the lobby, looking annoyingly radiant for someone on a boring work trip. And then, Nathan. Tall, polished, corporate Ken doll Nathan, strolling up beside her, smiling like he had just landed the biggest deal of his life. Which, I suppose, in a way, he had. They walked side by side, relaxed, familiar. Not like coworkers. And the best part? Nathan had no suitcase. Just a small duffel bag slung over his shoulder. Because why would he need to bring much? He wasn't here for the business retreat. No, Nathan was checking into Amanda's room. I took a deep breath, tapping my fingers against the steering wheel. Wow. No hesitation. No sneaking around. Just walking into a hotel together like it was a normal day. In a way, it was almost insulting. At least have the decency to be sneaky about it. But no. Amanda and Nathan, cheating amateurs, had apparently decided that their intelligence level was above the need for basic caution. Fine by me. I pulled out my phone, took a few photos, and then did what any reasonable man would do. I booked a room. Because if Amanda thought I was just going to sit in my car like a chump, she clearly didn't know me very well. I wasn't just going to watch from a distance. Oh, no. I was going to enjoy the show up close. And when Amanda finally came home, completely unaware of what was waiting for her, I was going to be ready. So, I checked in. Got my key. And with a smile, I made my way to the elevators. This weekend just got a lot more interesting. The elevator ride was quiet, which felt wrong, considering I was heading toward the most ridiculous situation of my married life. I had my room key in my pocket, a plan forming in my head, and just down the hall, my beloved wife was busy playing house with Nathan, the corporate dreamboat. I stepped into my room, 3 doors down from Amanda's, and took a moment to appreciate the absurdity of it all. She had no idea I was here. None. And if she did, I'm sure she'd have some beautifully crafted lie ready to go, something about a surprise audit or an unexpected client meeting. I sat down on the hotel bed and pulled out my phone. Time to collect more evidence. First stop, the hotel's room service app. Because if I knew Amanda, and I did, she wasn't going to spend the entire weekend sneaking around like some nervous teenager. No, she was going to enjoy herself. And sure enough, there it was. A bottle of champagne ordered to room 514. Her room. Well, technically, their room. And guess what? I had the same app. I had a room, too. Which meant I could watch their charges in real time. So I sat back, relaxed, and let them order. And oh, did they order. Massage appointments? Check. Late night dessert? Check. Bathrobes charged to the room? Oh, absolutely. They weren't even trying to hide it. It was offensive how confident they were. Like they thought cheating had no consequences. I took screenshots of everything, saved them in a folder titled Amanda's Business Trip. By the time night rolled around, I had a small collection of evidence sitting neatly on my phone. But I wanted more. See, I wasn't just here to find proof. I was here to make sure Amanda never saw this coming. So I grabbed my key, stepped out into the hall, and walked toward their door. I wasn't going to knock. That would be stupid. Instead, I did something smarter. I pressed my ear to the door and listened. Now, before you judge, let's be clear, Amanda is the one who turned our marriage into a live-action soap opera. I was just trying to figure out the next episode before it aired. And let me tell you, the dialogue inside did not disappoint. He seriously doesn't suspect anything? Nathan's voice, low and obnoxiously confident. Of course not. Amanda's voice. Casual. Relaxed. Zero guilt. Are you sure? I mean, I know you said Kevin's kind of clueless, but... He's not clueless, Amanda cut in, laughing. He's just predictable. He trusts me. He wouldn't even think to check. Wouldn't even think to check. I had to actually put my hand over my mouth to stop myself from laughing. Because Amanda. I didn't just check, I checked in. Nathan sighed. And you're really planning to keep this going? For a little while, Amanda said. It's fun, you know? Like, I love Kevin, I really do, but this is different. I love Kevin. Oh, fantastic. Nothing says love like a secret weekend getaway with another guy. Nathan didn't sound convinced. And what if he finds out? He won't, Amanda said. Confident. Certain. A woman with absolutely no idea her husband was 3 doors down. I grinned, pulled out my phone, and sent Amanda a text. Kevin, hey babe, hope you're having fun at your retreat. Work stuff going well? I stepped back, listening. A moment later, I heard her phone buzz. Then silence. Then, oh, come on, Amanda muttered, and I could hear the fake enthusiasm in her voice as she started typing. A second later, my phone vibrated. Amanda, hey love. Super busy, but all good here. Long day, heading to bed early. Miss you, red heart. I stared at the message, fighting the urge to burst into laughter. Heading to bed early? Amanda. You just ordered dessert and champagne. I snapped another screenshot, saved it to my collection, and walked away. I had everything I needed. Now, it was time to start having some fun. Step 1: Mess with Amanda's weekend. I opened the hotel app and booked a spa appointment under her name. Nothing dramatic. Just something minorly inconvenient. A deep tissue massage at 7 a.m. The kind of thing that would confuse her just enough to make her wonder what was going on. Step 2: Mess with Nathan. I went to the front desk. Hey, I said, smiling. I need to leave a note for room 514. Can you make sure it gets delivered in the morning? Of course, the receptionist said. What's the message? I wrote it down, folded it neatly, and handed it over. It read. Nathan, we need to talk. Breakfast? A. The receptionist took the note without question. Step 3: Sit back and watch the chaos unfold. Because tomorrow morning, Amanda was going to wake up to a mystery massage appointment she never booked. Nathan was going to wake up to a note from Amanda that she never wrote. And I was going to have the best seat in the house. Because if Amanda wanted to play games, she was about to find out I play better. And the best part? She still had no idea. Amanda had a rough morning. Now, I wasn't physically there when she got the 7 a.m. massage surprise, but I didn't have to be. The front desk was more than happy to confirm that Mrs. Carter had arrived at the spa in a state of confusion, insisting she never booked an appointment. And Nathan? Oh, Nathan had it even better. He got up early, probably expecting a nice, peaceful morning with his favorite coworker. Instead, he found a handwritten note waiting for him. I could only imagine his reaction, standing there in his business casual pajamas, staring at the note like it was a cryptic message from the universe. Nathan, we need to talk. Breakfast? A. Subtle. Simple. Disaster-inducing. I sat in my hotel room, enjoying the silence. Then, right on schedule, the real fun began. At exactly 7:42 a.m., Amanda called Nathan. I had expected this. What I didn't expect was that Nathan didn't pick up. Oh, buddy. You're really not built for this, are you? A second later, my phone buzzed. Amanda, weird morning. Spotting was a mistake, and now Nathan's acting strange. Ugh. I responded like any good, trusting husband. Kevin, that sucks, babe. Hope the rest of the day gets better, Redheart. Because if Amanda was starting to sweat, I wasn't about to hand her a towel. At 8:15, I left my room, casually making my way toward the dining area. And there he was. Nathan. Sitting alone at a table, arms crossed, looking like a man who had just realized he might be getting played. I walked right past him, grabbed a coffee, and picked a table in his direct line of sight. Not once did I look at him. Not once did I acknowledge him. And yet, I could feel his confusion growing by the second. Because there I was, Amanda's clueless, predictable husband, sitting a few feet away from him. Cool as ever. Relaxed. No sign of suspicion. Just a guy, enjoying his morning coffee. And Nathan? He was freaking out. At exactly 8:32, Amanda arrived. She looked rushed, frustrated, hair slightly damp from what I assumed was a very angry shower. She spotted Nathan, stormed over, and sat down across from him. I didn't need to hear them. I could see everything from the way their faces shifted. Amanda, why didn't you pick up? Nathan, why did you leave me a note? Amanda, I didn't. Nathan, then who did? Ah, yes. The moment of realization. Amanda's eyes flickered around the room, just for a second. Just long enough. She didn't expect to see me. She definitely didn't expect to see me calm, sipping my coffee, looking as content as ever. And I swear to you, she actually froze. Like her brain had completely short-circuited. Nathan turned his head to follow her gaze. And that's when he saw me too. I took a sip. Smiled. Then pulled out my phone and texted Amanda. Kevin, hope breakfast is good, Redheart. I watched her phone buzz on the table. I watched her read it. And I watched every bit of color drain from her face. Nathan, of course, had no idea what was happening. All he knew was that Amanda looked like she had just seen a ghost. So naturally, he turned to me again. And this time, I waved. Nothing big. Just a small, polite, casual wave. Amanda snapped her head back toward Nathan. Probably to stop him from doing the math too fast. But it was too late. I could see it on his face. The realization. The "oh no, I'm in a disaster I did not prepare for" expression. Nathan, you poor fool. I let them sit with their panic for a few more minutes before I stood up, took one last sip of coffee, and walked out. Now, you might be wondering, Kevin, why didn't you confront them? Why not just call Amanda outright then and there? Because that would be too easy. Amanda spent months lying to me. I wasn't about to give her an easy way out. No. Amanda was going to dig her own grave. So, I went back to my room and did something truly spectacular. I emailed her every single piece of evidence I had collected. Screenshots. Photos. The room service bills. The spa appointment under her name. All in a neat little email titled, "Since you love business retreats so much, here's some paperwork for you." Then, I packed my bag. Checked out of the hotel. And drove home. Because if Amanda thought this weekend was bad, she had no idea what was waiting for her when she got back. And best of all, she still had no idea how much worse it was going to get. Amanda came home exactly when I expected her to, Sunday evening, right before dinner, like nothing had happened. Like she was just coming back from a productive work retreat, where she had been so busy networking that she barely had time to text me back. I had been waiting. Not dramatically, not sitting in the dark like some scorned husband in a movie. No, I was on the couch, watching TV, because that's what people who aren't emotionally devastated do. The door opened. She stepped inside, rolling her suitcase and like she wasn't carrying the biggest mistake of her life behind her. "Hey, babe," she said, her voice light, casual. She dropped her keys onto the counter, then walked over like she actually expected a welcome home kiss. "Miss me?" Now, here's the thing. Amanda is a good liar. But she's not great. Because a great liar wouldn't have looked so nervous. A great liar wouldn't have let her eyes flicker over to my phone, sitting face up on the coffee table, like she was waiting for something to explode. Which, technically, it already had. I didn't move. Didn't pause the TV. Didn't give her anything. Because this? This was her problem. So, I said, finally looking at her. "How was your trip?" "Good," she said, too fast. "Tiring, but good." "Yeah?" I nodded at her suitcase. "Bring me back anything?" That got her. Just for a second. A small crack, a little hesitation, like her brain was trying to process whether or not I knew. And then she recovered. "Oh, I didn't have time to shop." She smiled, walking toward me, reaching for my hand. "But I promise I'll make it up to you." The audacity. I let her fingers brush mine before I finally picked up my phone. And just like that, Amanda's entire body locked up. Because she knew. Oh, she knew. "So," I said, scrolling casually, "wanna guess what my favorite part of your work retreat was?" She swallowed. "What?" I turned the screen toward her. Her own hotel receipt stared back at her. Room service. Spa charges. 2 guests. Amanda didn't speak. Because what do you say when your entire house of lies is sitting in front of you in bold black and white? Now, you might think this is where she broke down. Where she finally admitted everything. No. Amanda doubled down. "Kevin," she said, putting on her best concerned wife voice. "What is this? Where did you get this?" I laughed. Actually laughed. Because wow. Where did I get this? I repeated. "Amanda, are you seriously asking me that?" She didn't answer. She knew she wasn't talking her way out of this one. "You know," I said, tossing my phone onto the table, "I really have to hand it to you. You pulled this off for, what, a couple months? Maybe longer?" I shrugged. Impressive. Amanda shook her head. "It's not what you think." "Oh, it's not?" I leaned back. "So you didn't spend the weekend with Nathan? You didn't book a romantic suite for 2? You didn't lie to my face for months?" "Kevin, And, most importantly," I continued, "you didn't sit in a hotel dining room this morning, look directly at me, and realize you were screwed?" Amanda's mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. She had nothing. So, I let the silence sit between us for a minute. Let her squirm. Then I sighed. "Look," I said, standing up. "I'm not gonna do the whole dramatic screaming match thing. You don't deserve that much effort from me." I gestured at the screen. "It's all there. Every single detail. The lies, the receipts, the evidence." I looked at her. "And now, I'm gonna make your life really easy." Amanda blinked. "You have 2 choices," I said. "1, you pack a bag, leave tonight, and I file for divorce first thing tomorrow. No arguments, no fights, just done." Her breath hitched. "Kevin." "Or 2, I continued, you try to fight this. You try to make excuses. And I make sure that every single person in our lives, our friends, your family, Your boss knows exactly what kind of person you are. Amanda paled. You wouldn't. I pulled my phone up, scrolled to the email I had already drafted, and turned the screen to her again. The recipient list was long. Try me, I said. And that? That was checkmate. Amanda didn't argue. Didn't try to cry. Because for once in her pathetic, cheating life, she realized she had no way out. She packed a bag. Walked to the door. Paused, like she thought I might stop her. I didn't. And then, just like that, she was gone. No fight. No goodbye. Just a woman who had finally lost everything. And me? I sat back down. Turned up the TV. And enjoyed the quiet. Because, for the first time in months, I was free. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and rate the story in the comments.